Hello, everybody. It's Michael Finkley with The Michael Finkley Show.
And I'm Nicole with Conversations with Nicole. You can join me Wednesdays at 9 a.m. on all of my streaming platforms.
Well, Nikki, don't forget about The Michael Finkley Show, Mondays, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the CTR Media Network.
Join us.
What's up, everybody? This is your boy, Rosero. I am a creative director and choreographer to the stars. Make sure that you tune in to the Michael Finkley Show because he is off C-Chain. I don't know if people still say that, but you need to tune in. Peace.
On the next Michael Finkley, serial entrepreneur Kimberly Kelly is with us. She tells us a story from struggle to success.
Walk by faith. We're going to heal. We're going to trust in God.
Plus, Tonya Pinkins is back, Fink fam. She talks about her new role in Tyler Perry's Sistas. Thursday.
There's a new familiar face this time. Say hello to the new daytime. See it everywhere you go. Doing the greatest show. It's no other than the Michael Finkley Show. There is no other. He's like no other. I'm so glad that someone resonates with me. I'm so glad that
Welcome back to the Michael Finkley Show. Now, y'all, my next guest, she is the business mogul on the rise, and she has a story behind that success as well. And I can't wait for her to tell her amazing story of healing. She's none other than Kimberly Kelly. How are you?
Fabulous. I am fabulous and so honored to be on your show today. So yes, I am good.
Oh, I'm so amazed that you are good because we're super uber well, fantastic.
Yes.
So thank you so much for taking out the time just to chat with us for a few moments. Because again, you're doing some incredible things, right? You're accomplishing dreams, you're making your dreams come true, but there's always a story behind that, right? There's
Yes,
always
absolutely.
a story behind that. So I'm so glad that our audience today gets to see the three-dimensional Kimberly.
Yes.
So excited about that. So I have to ask, Kimberly, how do you describe the word healing? What does that mean to you?
It means that you just don't. Healing means that you can persevere even when you're in pain, but you also trust in God, and then you make sure that you work on yourself simultaneously. So we're gonna work together. We're gonna walk by faith, and we're gonna heal. We're gonna trust in God. We're gonna do our therapy, but we're also gonna continue to move forward. We're not gonna stay in it. We're not going to stay in the pain. We're not going to make that be our story. It's not going to be our racket. We're going to continue to move forward and know that all is well and everything is going to work out for your highest good.
All is well. I love that. I love that. Sometimes we get so caught up in the issue therein, and we find ourselves staying in it. But as you said, as long as we get out of it, right?
Yes.
We get out of it, that healing process can begin. Is healing a process?
It really is a process. It's nothing like it's no different than grief. So it's a process. I don't think if you go through a trauma and you experience like some hardcore trauma in your life, you are going to be healing forever because there are going to be triggers that are going to come your way. And and you can have little blind spots here. And even if you continuously work on yourself, you will continue to have to work on yourself in certain situations because you just never know when something you remember in your past or something that happened. It could be a song, it could be a cue, it can be anything that triggers you that will bring you back to that space. But then you know how to work around it. You know how to not let it impact you like it impacted you firsthand when it first happened.
Yeah, that's what I love about the process. We gain experience and we gain knowledge. And if you don't, something's wrong because you'll be
absolutely. Absolutely. And if you're trying to heal, you can't just jump from A to C. You want to do A, B, and C, because if not, you may turn back around and have to go back to A again because you have not healed from that issue. So you want to continue to just move forward and just not skip steps. That's the one thing. People want to take the shortcut, but if you're taking a shortcut, you're really not doing the work.
Exactly, exactly. In the world we live in today with social media and the right now spirit that's out there, right? We're trying to rush through
Absolutely.
things to get there a little bit quicker, but it's at our own pace. It's our
Yeah.
process, and we're supposed to
Yes.
learn something in that process as well. So, Kimberly, please, what is your healing story?
So, just a little bit about me. I was raised. I hail from South Florida, Fort Lauderdale area. My mom was kind of riddled in this is the 80s and drug area. So basically, I was left to fend for myself from the age of 5 years old. And I had two little younger brothers up under me, and that coincidentally led us into the foster system. And we were raised there. They took us away from South Florida and took us. My mom tried to run away from the system down here, but only to go to Rhode Island and get us taken away there because she was still doing what she was doing. She could not kick it, so we ended up in foster care for a long time. And then when we got one of my aunts finally got us out a couple of years later. And then even with that, my mom still couldn't get herself together. So we basically, from the time I was like 14 years old, I was raising myself and my brothers as well. After we got away from, even going to South Florida with my aunt, because I'm a girl, I wanted to be near my mom, and she was like still in the streets. And then basically, it was just I found myself being the mother because I'm the only girl and trying to save her. And I'm going into crack house and trying to get her out as a kid, doing all my work for school, still trying to survive, only to her still, doing the drugs and the drinking and stuff like that. So anyway, catapult, I ended up being a teenage mom, but I was always still, and even though I made my own decisions because I didn't know, I really didn't have anyone to teach me. I had no guidance. I'm literally living on my own and signing my paperwork just so I could finish school because I knew I didn't want to be like her. I didn't want to. And I ended up start raising my brothers by the time I was old enough to figure out how to doctor documents so I can get in my own place. And I had my brothers and had my son. Then I had another one, but I refused to give up. I was like, I'm going to get my high school diploma. I don't care what, if I got to put these two kids on my arms. I got my high school diploma. Fast forward, I ended up getting a degree in electronic engineering, a bachelor's of science degree. And I'm the first generation entrepreneur in my family. So that's a great thing too. But I did a lot of self-work along the way. My mom succumbed to the drugs and stuff like that. But when she was 49 years old. And that catapulted me into even pushing harder. Like I still was driven, but I always wanted, I guess when you go through so much trauma as a kid and trying to figure out how to raise yourself, you're still, I want to say this, like you're still trying to prove something or trying to prove like that you're worthy to a ghost, even if that person is not alive. And you still, thank God I don't know, like all my life, I remember being in the foster home and looking up at the sky and like no one had never took me to church before. So I'm praying that it's like, how did I know about God? I remember like being so young, like, how do I know about God? And I always had that in me. So it was just like, I just knew that I had to be there for my brothers. I took care of them, and I ended up having my own kids. And I just kept forging forward, just kept pushing forward. So that is basically how I got this far that I am now. Just giving up wasn't an option. I had nothing to fall back on.
Wow, because I always say this to individuals, and I mean it in the sense of what they're presenting to us in their circumstances. You don't look like what you've been through.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's only a little bit of it, but this is not a sob story because, we all have went through something in this life. but the perseverance and God and trusting in yourself and believing that you can do it, and even talking to yourself motivating yourself along the way. I just knew for myself that I had nothing to fall back on, and I could not fail my brothers, I couldn't fail myself, or I couldn't fail my kids. So even when I had all kind of setbacks along the way, it was just like, okay, girl, brush your shoulders off. Let's keep it moving, because guess what? People are dependent on you, and you cannot fail yourself.
Gotcha. I love that part of not about failing yourself. You mentioned your brothers, you mentioned your children. How did you remember you in that process?
I was in survival mode for so long. And it's hard for me to even sometimes, even now, to kind of get out of it, because it's like in my mind, it's like, okay, we got to eat, we got to do this, we have this, these are things. So I just did. No one asked me how did I feel, how did I, any of my feelings. My family members, they wasn't connected like that, so I just continuously just moved forward and just trusted God. When I finally got a relationship and understood my relationship with Spirit and God, it helped me. That was my feeling. That was my go-to. That was my solid and my safe space.
Gotcha. And we said before, this is a process, right? And the process continues even as long as we're living. The process continues.
Absolutely.
In 2024, how are you taking care of yourself now?
Oh, I'm really taking care of myself. I am taking care of myself. Not only I'm loving myself. I'm loving Kimberly. I'm loving her in all her flaws in every which way possible. So I am loving her. I'm taking her like to coffee shops, and we're having coffee together. I am taking her on trips, and I'm just like doing the things that I can just really pour into myself. And I speak kindly to myself now. I don't, I try not to speak negatively to myself. And those are ways that I'm really pouring into me now.
I gotcha. Do you regret anything?
Do I regret anything? I can't really say that there are things that I think I could have done better, to be honest. But I didn't have the tools at that time. I wasn't taught to even do anything different than what I have done. I wish I would have, I guess with me, I wish I was given enough, I wish I had enough support where I could have spent a little bit more time with my boys and understood certain things, but it was just not in my village to even teach me to teach them. So I wish I did have a little bit more, because I was working so much. I was like, I will work all day, and then I go to school I work from 8 to 5, go to school from 6 to 10 o'clock at night, and then I have like a bartender job, just to continue to sustain. So I miss like little moments with them, but I apologize to them, and we talk and we communicate, and I'm very authentic and I own it. So yeah, they're good.
I love, again, the process we talked about before. It's not only for us, but it's for the people around us. And once we realize what that looks like on that journey, right, we understand it by and by. So I feel like when we're going through it, like you said, you were just going through the process. You were just going
Yes.
through the motions. You had business to take care of. You had, mouths to feed, people looking up to you in that
Yeah.
right. And again, that was all a part of your process. So
Mm-hmm.
now you can understand and say, okay, I understand it now. I didn't understand why I was going through it, but I understand it now. And this is where we are. This is where we are, present day, 2024. You mentioned about being a first generation entrepreneur. You're a businesswoman, right? You degreed up, right? You got your business under your belt. Tell us about your businesses in that process. Tell us about your businesses.
So about I've always kind of had the entrepreneurial mindset, because even when I was a teenager, or either when I was in my early 20s, I self-taught myself a lot of things. I taught myself how to cut hair. So I would cut in the neighborhood guys' hair to make extra money. Then I would do girls' hair. So I self-taught, and I would clean houses. So I've always had that in me. So one year it was my husband's birthday, and I saw that he had purpose. It was something. He loved computers. So for his birthday, I did him a business in a box. I think it was his 30th. I did a business in the box. So what I did, I incorporated him, got his cards made, anything that you needed for a business at that time. I did that as a birthday gift, because during that time, was kind of getting laid off here and there. So I did a business in the box, and we started a computer business because he was working for a network as a network administrator. So he did a business in the box. So that's how it kind of like catapulted from there. We came here, we moved to Atlanta from South Florida, and we opened up a brick and mortar computer repair shop. And that just went on. And then that was one of our businesses to start, the first brick and mortar. And then now we have a real estate brokerage. I have six agents now, and it's growing. So I'm excited about that. And we have a tax office and a bookkeeping company, taxes and bookkeeping, accounting and bookkeeping. He's accounting and bookkeeping company. And then we also have a property preservation. So we preserve properties for, like, if they REO on the foreclosures, we go out and make sure that they're looking great to the public eye, so you don't have squatters and things of that nature in it. So yeah. So those are my 3 businesses. Those are my babies right now. So, and I'm excited. I'm so blessed, and I'm happy that, like you say, up and coming. These are things that I love to also educate people on these things. I'm one of those real estate agents who like, okay, well, this is what you need. Like real estate brokers are agents. I'm an agent as well. I like to educate people on things that they can do on their own self too. I like to give back, like all of this stuff. This is what you can do for yourself. So I love to be able to give back to any capacity that I can.
That's amazing. Paying it forward. It still matters. Still matters. Paying it forward. Why, in spite of your story and your upbringing, look where you are today. Look where.
How can I not? How can I not? How can I not?
Oh, wow.
How can I not?
With your plate being so heavy, how do you keep that balance? Family, work, you have family that does work with you and work for, like, how does that work for you?
It works. I have all boys. So that in itself, and I have some like my son who he goes to Georgia State. So he's a realtor as well. So we work together. So it just kind of dynamically flows together. Me and my husband, we're best. He's my best friend. So he does his thing, I do my thing, and we just kind of just make it mesh together. And we have the same issues that any other relationship have, but at the end of the day, it's all for family, it's all for love, it's all for our legacy and what we're trying to pay for not just our kids, any other kids that come in across our path, or anybody else who would need our services. So we balance it and make it happen, because if you start thinking that you can't do it, then all of a sudden it starts bringing up doubt within you. So your cutoff time, and you just create your boundaries, and you just continue to move forward, and God will go before you and make every crooked path straight. And I believe that.
I love that. I love it that it's a family thing as well. Again, keeping it all in the family, and then also to kind of branching out there, trying to find new and exciting ways. All right, to make you different and unique in your own special way, which is fantastic. I love it. I love it. So with all that you've done and all that you have achieved, how would you define the word success?
For me, success is work-life balance. As far as like being able to, now if I'm winning in this area, I can't do everything all, but successfulness, as long as I'm showing up and I am success for me is when you love what you do and you have a life and family balance along the way. It's not going to be perfect, but it's doable. And that when I wake up in the morning, I can get up in the morning and I can just say, okay, girl, you got this. Let's keep it moving, and you can do this. No matter what that day calls for, no matter what is in the media, you know that you can get this done. So for me, as long as I have my integrity and I know that I'm doing it and I'm putting my heart out here and I'm doing it authentically, that's success for me. And I can pay it forward. That means a lot to me as well.
I love it. So based off your own definition, are you a success?
I am. I show up with love in everything that I do. So that means a lot to me.
I love it. I love it. Please continue in this, because again, especially in telling your story, because again, someone is looking for that message to say, if she can do it, I can do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So please continue. We need a word in 2024. We need you. So in all that you've been through and all that you've accomplished, all therein, right? All the things that we talked about thus far. Have you forgiven yourself of your past to enjoy your present currently?
Oh, wow. That's a great question. Ooh, Michael, that's a great question. Have I forgiven myself? Have I forgiven myself? I've forgiven myself in layers, because some things that were beyond my control. I've had a son who was hit by a truck, who is partially paralyzed. And so those are the heaviest things that it's like, kind of like, even when you've forgiven yourself, even though you think that you could have done something different, you can't change the past because it doesn't exist anymore. So I want to say, for the most part, I would say at least 98% I have. I just still got to work through a couple more things, and that's just a part of life.
And again, going into that, I feel that we cannot get away from this P word, process.
Yes.
Process.
Yes.
Process.
Yes.
Everything has a process. Are you proud of yourself?
I am proud of myself today. I am proud of myself today. I am proud of myself. If you would ask me that probably like a year or two ago, I probably would still been waiting for my mom to say she was proud of me. But I'm proud of Kimberly. I am proud of her. She's a good egg. Yeah, I'm proud of her.
What changed? Not waiting on your mom anymore. What changed?
Like I said, I started loving me. I found that I was worthy. I started loving me. I started digging in, and I got therapy help. And just getting in the word and just really kind of stop, because sometimes we have imposter syndrome when you come from where I come from, where you kind of don't look at yourself the way others look at yourself, no matter how grandiose things that you have. You don't look at yourself like that. It's nothing to you. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you come from that world. And that little child in you still is tugging on so many different areas of some things that you still are dealing with. So I am.
And I am proud of you too. I am proud.
Thank you. I am.
Amazing. I just want to say thank you again. I can't continue again to just tell that story, continue to live in your dream, continue to fulfill whatever your heart so desires. Do you feel like you are fulfilling a dream?
I am fulfilling the dream, not just for myself. And when I think about like the big vision of what I really want to do and how I want to pour into society and people who have kind of walked the path that I have walked and being able to pay it forward, the visualization of the dream becomes, I see it coming to fruition. So yes.
Gotcha. Continue. You ain't seen nothing yet. Just the.
I know, right? Yeah.
Ice is not even on the cake yet. So continue. Promise you, you ain't seen nothing yet. How can we follow you on social media? And if we need any of your services, how can we get in contact with you?
You can contact me. I'm at Kimberly Kelly Realty on Facebook, Instagram. It's just at Kimberly Kelly Realty. And then it's K Kelly Ventures on Instagram and on Facebook. And Kelly Taxes and Kelly Taxes and Services on Instagram and Facebook, on social media. So those are the platforms, at Kimberly Kelly Realty, at K Kelly Ventures, and also Kelly Taxes and Services on social media.
All righty, Think Fam, you heard it here. All the information in the description below as well. Kimberly Kelly, everybody, thank you for being with us. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. I'm so honored.
You're so welcome. Think Fam, don't go away.
Hi there, I am Lolita Molina. I am an actress, author, advocate, if you will, and you're watching The Michael Finkley Show.
On the next Michael Finkley, Marion County edition, I am super excited to be interviewing officials that are running for positions here in Marion County, including the Honorable Chief Carl Atkinson III and Kendra Flynn. And I get to chat with playwright himself, Mr. Gregory Adams. Don't miss it, King Fam. Next Michael Finkley, Marion County edition. Hello everybody, it's Finkley from the Finkley Experience. We're an educational consulting firm that specializes in first-generation education. So we assist students with their college and career endeavors. We train school administrators on the state of first-generation students. And also, we partner with colleges and universities to assist their first-generation population for easy transition from high school to college. So if you're looking for a presenter or a speaker that presents on these topics and so much more, visit our website at thefinkleyexperience.com and learn about all that we do. We're looking forward to working with you. Looking for some of the best soul food right here in Mullen, South Carolina? I promise you, come on down to Garden Alley.
Our grape salad's fabulous, our water gained, our potato salad, our chicken is fresh, macaroni and cheese is salted to perfection. I haven't found anything that's not great. Best ever.
Banana pudding, cakes, pies. Yeah. Selection is huge. Garden Alley is an awesome place to eat. I really love it.
Come by and see the amazing staff at Garden Alley, downtown Mullins.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Michael Finkley Show. Now, y'all, my next guest, she is back. Think Fam is back. I am super excited. The last time she was on the show was September 30th, 2022. I'm so glad you're back because you've been doing some incredible things, and we're going to talk about it all. Of course, Tony award-winning singer-writer, Tonya Pinkins. How are you? You're welcome. You're welcome. I just love this about you. You just have this calm, peaceful spirit. This whole demeanor. I always admire that about.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, definitely. It's been too long. It's almost been 2 years since last time we talked, which is.
I'm trying to remember where I was in September of 2022.
Oh my word! I think
I
that
must have been
you
here
were.
in Panama.
I think you were about to go on was it Broadway?
Where?
Was it Broadway?
No, I haven't done any Broadway.
Oh my word. Yeah. Well, let's catch up now.
Okay.
2 years.
I'm trying to remember September 2022. I might have to look at my photo album and see, like, where was I in September of 2022? The photos don't lie, right?
They won't lie at all. But I know we definitely talked about Red Pill. We definitely talked about Red Pill.
Maybe it was just coming out then.
Exactly.
Oh, I was doing a Raisin in the Sun at the Public.
There we go. Wow. So let's catch up.
Okay.
From then. Red Pill.
Okay.
What's going on with this? It's been out. How's it doing? What are the people
Ah,
saying? What's going on?
it's out there. I mean, it's kind of, we're living red pill. It's still out there. And I made another film last year called Game Night that premiered at the Pan African Film Festival. It hasn't been released yet, but in the midst of doing a contract to release that, hopefully sometime this year. And I started shooting a third film, but that one's on hold. I'm probably gonna have to use some AI for that one.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So staying busy.
Mhm.
Staying busy, I see. Working on your craft. And you've also been traveling too.
Lots of travel.
Tell us about some of the
September
places.
22. Oh my God, I'm trying to think. I have to look at my phone here to go, where was I
The phone
since
doesn't lie.
September 2022? Well, I know I went to Kentucky because I met this wonderful family that has 3 generations that made the quilts that help people escaping out of enslavement. So I spent time at a family reunion in Kentucky with that family. And I was in Paris because I've been trying to make a documentary about the way the history of Black people, particularly with Kemet and Kush, we've not been told the truth of that. So I was with the former head of the Sudanese Antiquities Museum. We were looking at an exhibit at the Louvre called The Pharaoh of Two Lands. And they were specifically talking about the Harka, who was a Kush pharaoh, known Black man who ruled over Upper and Lower Egypt. And even that title is deceiving because, that's one pharaoh, that's one lifetime. But Kush ruled over Upper and Lower Egypt for 1,200 years. So we're talking about a lot of pharaohs.
Wow. Word.
So in terms of travel, let's see, where else did I go? I've been to Benin, Portugal, Togo, Gabon, Sao Tome, Japan, New Zealand, Australia, Taiwan, the Philippines, Colombia, El Salvador. I think that's mostly.
Whoa. So you've been burning this passport like crazy. I love it. I love it. What do you get from each of those places? What have you gotten from each of those places that kind of contributes to who you are now in 2024?
There's nothing I enjoy more than going to a new country and just kind of being invisible and just being a chameleon and trying to fit in with another culture. I feel like people are people no matter where they are in the world. They may have different rituals, but at the core, all people just want some good food and drink and shelter and sex and entertainment, and to know that their loved ones are taken care of. And all the rest of the stuff that we have, capitalism sold that to us and made us start wanting these things that have very little value other than status value. But all of our needs are freely given. And through settler colonial imperialist capitalism, they have us focusing on things that have absolutely no intrinsic value in the quality of our lives, while they're forcing us to buy that which we do need and which was freely given to us.
So when you go abroad and afar, right, with all these different places, do you dread sometimes coming back to the States?
I don't ever dread it. I mean, there's some times that I go and I'm like, ooh, happy to get back here. But, now that I have a sort of home base in Panama, it feels more like my home. And the people here are very poor, but they're so full of pride and so full of strength. And they have so much more authenticity, integrity, and common sense than any Americans I've ever met. I would say that about the Cubans and the Panamanians and their 7 indigenous tribes here. And there are these people who are living in this very simple way, even though they're down the road from all the capitalists, trappings. they just are like, we'll take this, but no, we really don't want the rest of that.
Right.
And I think I've been sort of indoctrinated in it, and I could never just like go and live that way, but I have a great admiration for it. And I recognize that, when empire falls, it is possible to survive with just the things you need that are essential.
Gotcha. Wow. So just curious, like with all these different places as well, what are some of the activities that you've done that you really enjoyed? I'm living vicariously through you right now.
Okay, well, this past 6 months, I got certified as scuba diving. So I dived.
First.
I don't really either. I dived in Bali. I dived the Great Barrier Reef in Australia. I got certified to dive with nitrox, which is a more of an oxygen mix. And I dived the Philippines. I also skydived from 18,000 feet, which you have to have to take oxygen to go up that high. I paraglided in Colombia. I climbed the second largest rock in the world. I ziplined. My favorite thing that I did, I'm going to try to see if I can even show you a video. First of all, tell me when I put this up. Can you even see that video? Oh, no. I know what I have to do. I have to unblur. To even show you. How do I do that? I want to unblur. So what do I do? Oh,
Yep.
Here it is.
There you go. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let me see if I can show you this. Okay. It's kind of crazy.
It's time. This is blasphemy. This is madness. This is
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Wow. Oh. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
My spirit would have left my body. It came back eventually.
I loved it.
Oh my gosh. So it's like a bucket list for you? Like check, done, next.
I kind of am this person where it's like, if I'm scared of it to a certain extent, I got to try it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of that person, like, if you threaten me, well, you better do it. Because I'm like, okay, let's just see if it's my time, or well, we gonna see what's gonna happen with this. But I'm not living under threat. That for me is like a fate worse than death, walking around afraid. I just yeah. So I'm like, okay, let's just do these things. Let's go meet our fears.
Gotcha. What's next on the list?
Well, I got to dive a whole lot more places, and I'm trying to think. Just there's like 120 more countries to visit.
Let's go.
Oh, well, the big thing that I'm planning, so I'm starting to do some practices. I'm about to walk this pilgrimage that people have been walking for thousands of years. It's called the Camino de Compostela, the Santiago Walk.
Okay.
It's about 700 miles. And so I'm going to start in Ireland, and we're going to walk the Celtic way first, and then we're going to fly to France and walk across France and Spain and Portugal.
Wow. Like, are there like stops along the way?
We're going to walk about 15 miles a day, and then we'll stop and stay the night at, they're called albergues, which are places for the pilgrims to stay in. And yeah, that's next. That's the next big adventure.
How long would that take?
About 50 days, but we're giving ourselves, it's going to be a bigger trip. So Ireland and France. So we'll start on like May 22nd. We fly out the 21st. We'll finish the walk like July 9th. And then we're going to just travel a little bit. I'm going with a friend of mine who's a nun.
Gotcha. I love it. Why not? I love it. I love that. So definitely document that because again, we'll be lurking on social media, watching you every step. We'll definitely be watching every step. Oh my word! So let's talk about Marie Willis. Can we talk about? Can we talk about her?
Oh, yes,
Listen.
I love
Can we
Marie.
talk about Marie? And I think that if you haven't not watched Tyler Perry's Sistas, oh my gosh! Because when I saw it, I'm like, wait, I know her. I saw you. Oh my gosh, you got to tell us about this. Like how this began and like this whole character. Where did it come from?
You know, first of all, Tyler Perry is just brilliant, and what he has built and what he has done is extraordinary. Um, they Hollywood shoots like a season of 20 some episodes in like 9 months.
Right.
Tyler Perry shoots 22 episodes in 9 days.
That part. Mm-hmm.
So I was in Panama. I was actually at lunch with a group of Black women having this lunch down here when I got the call of this offer. And it was like literally to leave like 3 days later to go shoot 12 episodes of Sistas.
So you didn't even have the audition.
No, and I don't know if the writers did this on purpose, but Ed, I'm gonna get his name wrong, but there's a play called The Fabulous Miss Marie.
Okay.
And I don't know if they were paying homage to Ed Levin's play. I'm not getting it right. I'll find it before we get out of here. But I did that play with Roscoe, and let me see, look up The Fabulous Miss Marie. I did that play in New York. And so that's what I thought of when I went in to do that, this wonderful Black billionaire. It was just, what a treat. What a treat. I never get to play characters that are fun like that. So it was me and Roscoe Orman and Ed Bullins. Ed Bullins play The Fabulous Miss Marie. Yes.
Well, it just looked like you had so much fun doing
Oh, I had so much fun. And I think they've only aired like 4 of the 8 episodes. So you haven't even seen the stuff that Miss Marie gonna get into.
I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. Wow. And then all of a sudden, just out of those few episodes that you're in, we've seen thus far, you're already a fan favorite.
Good.
Did you going into this, did you expect that?
I just was going and having a good time. First of all, you get there and it's like getting shot out of a cannon. You got like 50 pages in a day. And it's like, well, okay, we got to do this.
Oh my gosh. Well, I can't wait to see the rest of them. I can.
Oh yeah, you ain't seen what Miss Marie gets into. Woo!
Let's go. I love it. So would you want to do more roles like this on television?
Oh, I love Miss Marie.
Oh, that's amazing. So, like I said, if you have not seen it, you gotta go back and rewatch it. Go back and watch it. Go back and rewatch it because I tell you, Tonya, off the chain. So, what else are you working on?
What else am I working on? I've been doing a lot of painting, trying to learn how to be a better painter, not going so well. Writing. I have a couple of script things that I'm writing some thrillers. Hopefully it is my, hold it in prayer that I'm going to get to write and direct a feature film for one of the streamers this year. I hope so. Before I got on, and when I get off, I have a deadline that something is due on Monday. So I'm trying to get it ready, because then they got to give me notes and approvals and all of that.
Gotcha. Well, my best friend always says, though, Tonya, too, that once you say something, it has to happen because you already put it out there. So whatever you say, it has to come to pass.
Okay, well, I will be finishing writing and directing my first feature for somebody else this year.
Period. Done.
Mm-hmm.
Done. There we go. It's gonna happen. And when I said, I'm like, yep, she said it. Yeah, she said it on the show. Yeah. Because it's happening right now. I love that. What is that next biggest role for you, though? What is still that thing that you still want to accomplish, either in your life or professionally, personally? What does that look like?
I have one more script that is kind of really dear to me, so it's really hard for me to even start writing it because I so want it to be good. So there's that. I'd like to get that movie written and directed, but that one will be, I gotta write it before I can even attempt to sell it. And then Brandon Jacob Jenkins and I have been talking a number of years about doing a new version of Mother Courage. So that might be the thing that I would return to the theater for.
Oh, let's go. You know what? I see it like this because 2023 taught me a lot, but 2024, I'm still looking and I'm still learning too. And it's taught me so much as well. Just do it. Just do it. If you get a yes, yes. If you get a no, it's not going to happen right now, but it's going to happen eventually. So just do it. Just do it. That's what I'm learning because life is too short. Life is too short. So just do it. Oh my gosh. Are you proud of yourself at this point in your life?
Ever feel any kind of proud? No, that's not something I feel. I mean, I do recognize that I do more than most people, but I don't think I have any pride about it. I'm just like, well, this is just how I choose to live my life, and other people choose to live theirs different ways.
Wow. So finish this statement for me. Tonya is blank. How would you feel in that blank?
Tonya is spontaneous and courageous.
Why?
Because I say yes to things that I'm curious about. And I don't have all of the constraints of society's rules. I don't allow that to curtail my curiosity and interest.
Those are definitely words to live by. Those are definitely words to live by. So when you see if an artist comes to you that's just starting off in the ring, right? They're like, I want to be like Tonya. When I grow up, I want to be in the plays and the shows and this, that, and the, I want to travel. What would you say to that individual?
Well, I was a Denzel Washington Endowed Chair at Fordham University last semester.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the biggest lesson for me is that the world that I grew up in and live in, that young people don't live in it. And so I don't know really what to tell them because like my students said to me at one point that their social media was representative of their character. And that was a really important thing. And I was like, well, my social media is not a representative of my character. My social media is a representative of one, the fact that whenever I get on social media, I'm doing free cloud labor for these conglomerates that are like the landlords, and all of the rest of us are their serfs. And so I consciously choose to do free public relations for anybody with a grievance. I don't care if I like them, if I agree with them, they got a grievance. I'm doing free PR because I know anybody with a grievance is up against these conglomerates with billions and trillions. And so I'm trying to balance my free labor there by doing free labor over here. So you look at my social media, people will be like, but you're writing things, they're not true, and you're spreading disinformation. And I'm like, as if these big conglomerates aren't spreading disinformation. So let's let all the disinformation get in there, and then people have to use some critical thinking to discern what is true. But don't tell me just because they spreading disinformation, this disinformation is worse. No. Disinformation is disinformation. So let's just get it all in there. But I realized that young people today can't do that. And it was because I was listening to the former Greek head of economics, Varoufakis.
Mm-hmm.
And he was saying now young people, when they create their social media, they have to know that an employer can pull that up at any time in their life and decide whether they can get a job.
Exactly.
I mean, I know that I am, have been blacklisted and there are people who aren't going to work with me because I'm pro-Palestine.
Mm-hmm.
But I've lived long enough and I got a pension. So I'm like, okay, if I don't work no more, that's fine. But I know what the right side of history is. Young people don't have that choice. they don't have that choice because we're living in a time where the Varoufakis also is the one who said capitalism is over. Capitalists have a product to sell, and what they're selling is the surplus of somebody else's labor. But right now, in order to even sell capital, you have to pay rent to the cloud landlords. You have to be on their platform and pay them rent. So you're not making much capital because you got to pay them so much. And so they're really the big bosses. And they don't really need our money or us to shop anymore because they can pretty much AI is getting rid of all the white collar jobs. It's going to be the lowest level jobs where they need somebody to wipe their ass and change their diapers and wheel them around, things that you actually want a human being for, or be cannon fodder in a war, that are going to be people jobs. And the rest of it, they just gonna need to control the rest of us so we don't interfere like these students are doing on these campuses. And so that's the point of these 15-minute cities and the C40 cities and the flow communities where, you're gonna have a card, and that card will allow you to shop here, work here, buy this. And if you don't do what you're supposed to do, they will just cut you off and you won't have nothing. As you see at the Supreme Court right now, they're looking at criminalizing homelessness. So if you got bad credit or for whatever reason you can't get a home, you can go to jail now. That is so dystopian.
It just makes you look at what is the world coming to really. When it comes down to our rights and our freedoms, it's backwards to me at times. I just don't understand it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow. Oh, see, that's another show and another conversation, Tonya. Because we can go on all night with that one. Dang, wow. Oh my word. So I gotta say, you gotta come back. You gotta come back. You gotta come back. You gotta come back. We appreciate you so much. Like I said, I love these reunions. I love these reunions.
All right, we'll keep shouting up Miss Marie, so maybe they'll bring her back.
Listen. Well, you know what? Like I said, the buzz is already there. So, Tyler, he's already here and it is here. So it's already done. Already said it. We already said it. How can we follow you on social media?
Tonya Pinkins is what I am on X and Instagram and TikTok and Facebook, all of them, though I think I'm going to be disappearing from all of them at some point. But that's where I am right now.
So right now, y'all go follow her right now while she's still there.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tonya. We appreciate you.
Thank you, darling.
You're welcome. Big fam, don't go away. Back in a moment.
It's LaVon Lewis from the Queen's Court on Peacock, and you're watching The Michael Finkley Show.
Hi guys, welcome to Awaken. We wanted to serve the city of Mullins. We are church owned, and we felt like a coffee shop was such a huge need in the city of Mullins. There's nowhere for people to just come, get a cup of coffee, sit with friends, maybe do some work on the laptop. And so we feel like it was a service that we could give back to the city. Well, our hope is that people will feel calm, that they'll feel welcome, that it'll be a place where they can come and just clear their mind.
We come here twice a day. That's how good their smoothies, their coffee, their lattes, frappes, delicious. I would love the atmosphere here. If I had time to come and just sit and relax, I would. It's awesome.
One thing that I really love about it being here is just the cozy environment. It's so inviting. I can come in here and I can get my schoolwork done, a good coffee and a good meal. But I'm just really thankful that they're here and that I have a good place to go.
We're open Tuesday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. and Saturday from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Awaken Coffee Bar, downtown Mullins.
What's going on, beautiful people? My name is Prince Workworm and I play Jacob in Fated Seduction, and you guys are watching The Michael Finkley Show.
On the next Michael Finkley, Marion County edition, I am super excited to be interviewing officials that are running for positions here in Marion County, including the Honorable T. Carl Atkinson III and Kendra Flynn. And I get to chat with playwright himself, Mr. Gregory Adams. Don't miss it, Pink Fam. Next Michael Finkley, Marion County edition.
As life passes by,